Nokhud is not even that bad, but Jade Temple is the worst dungeon ever made. Even King's Rest was easier. That should be illegal. Oh, that's good. I like that. That should be illegal, he says. Does that raid tier list website have all the dungeons of this expansion? I wouldn't mind doing like a Mythic plus dungeon tier list. Like, these are the S tier dungeons to run. These are the ones to run. And then we can also go through each one of them and be like, here's what we need to change to make this one better because it sucks. We can also make a highlight out of this and send it to Blizzard. Be like, Blizzard, hey, we got something for you to fix, bro. Don't know if you've noticed yet, but tier list for any week, whether it's tyrannical or fortified, right? It doesn't matter which week it is. Easiest dungeons to do, best dungeons to do for everyone. Casual players, medium level players, high-end players. And we're still going to make changes to each one. So we're going to put Shadowmoon Burial Grounds as an S tier dungeon to do. Obviously very easy. If I were to nerf anything in this place, I would probably nerf the trash directly right after the first boss is dead and after the second boss is dead. You know, the domination channeling ads, because people still don't understand how those ads work. And if anyone ever wipes in Shadowmoon Burial Grounds, that's where you usually wipe. That's where a lot of people die. I would also probably nerf Death Blast, because that insta give to my warrior tank on a 19 like one shot me for like 450,000 health, which was pretty. Yeah, don't interrupt, easy. But the second anyone charges in, they'll fucking like do an interrupt or a leg sweep or something. Let's call it Death Blast. I mean, I didn't think it was that literal, man. I've seen a lot of names of stuff in dungeons. I didn't think Death Blast was really a Death Blast. Let's see. Quarter Stars has to also be an S tier dungeon, right? I mean, another easy dungeon, and I can't see anything that I would change in this dungeon at all. Oh, I know what I would change. Make the trees 1,000 yards taller so that I don't have to zoom in on my character every time I'm in this dungeon by 200%. That's what I would change. Yeah, there we go. Oh, and then on Tyrannical Week, obviously Slicing Maelstrom probably needs a nerf on Tyrannical Weeks, along with Piercing Gale, the frontal that the ads do and the images do. That needs to be more noticeable. People still can't see it. Probably the number one death in Court of Stars. I would say easily. Yeah, but definitely the camera stuff is, yeah, get that out of the way. Next best dungeon to run. I don't know, man. It's between Halls of Valor and Temple of the Jade Serpent, but I would say overall Halls of Valor is probably A tier, because there's no trash mob in Halls of Valor that can screw you and nuke you as fast as some of the last trash before during the last two bosses of Temple. Yeah, so Hall's definitely probably the third best dungeon you can run. Very hard dungeon to 2 chest past a 15 or a 16. It's one of those dungeons where it needs about 4 more minutes of time. I would say 38 minutes, no. 42 minutes, better. There would be a lot more +2 chests at 15 higher if they were to just increase it by about 4 minutes. It used to be that much. Right? But then they've nerfed it over the years. So I would say Halls of Valor, definitely next easiest to run. Don't expect to 2-key it, though, past the 15 in a regular pug group, unless you have some Giga Champ DPS. But yeah, RP really screws this dungeon a lot. Hell, RP screws Court of Stars even more. But these are just easy dungeons to run, right? Now, once again, you're starting to get a theme here, right? The easiest dungeons to run this season aren't even the dungeons from Dragonflight. They're actually the dungeons from the past. Because right along, let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna have to give B tier to Temple. I could put Temple at A as well, you know. Like, I could put it at A, but I'm gonna keep it. I don't know. What do you guys think? B, A, B. It has to be A because they're just easy to run. Maybe, yeah. Is there a B plus? Can we add a B plus in here? Yeah, I'm putting it at B because, yeah, the last boss on Tyrannical is really rough if you don't have the proper dispels. And that's hurt a lot of groups in timing this key. And then on Fortified, just the last room with the green dragon lady boss, and then the last room of the last boss is just it's just a shit show. Good dungeon, or yeah, I was about to say good dungeon to run if you're a warrior tank with like spell block and spell reflect, but try to go into a 20 as a bear tank in there, you just puckering your asshole and hoping you don't get nuked. But yeah, so far this is looking pretty good. Now, obviously, the 4 dungeons left over are the current expansion dungeons because they're the hardest to run because they have just much more complexity to them. So what would be the lesser of 2 evils, or all the evils here? Not gonna lie, I think out of all this, I'm still gonna probably put not good offensive as B. Yeah, I'm putting not good on B. You know why? Because I think once they nerf the second boss on Tyrannical Week enough, you're gonna have no problem doing this dungeon. All you gotta do is clear a lot of trash in the first and third bosses, and then just fly to the end boss at the in the end, and you're good. That's it. But yeah, so many trash mobs need nerfing here, especially even the storm bolting ones by the second boss. The second boss on Tyrannical needs to get nerfed. And then, man, I want to say the last boss on the high Tyrannical key, their Storm Strike on tanks is like almost like a one-shot, but that's on you, right? If you're a tank, you got to pop your own cooldowns. But yeah, the changes they already made to not good offensive are okay. But second boss definitely right now would be the Pug Lever Killer, if you ask me. You're too woke. I don't even know what that means. I mean, I just had caffeine earlier and I'm having some, what is this? Some bone broth. So yeah, I mean, I feel pretty woke. Azure Vault's greater than Nokhud. I disagree. I'm putting Azure pretty much. Azure and Algeth'ar are going to be C tier. Algeth'ar, man, like, here's the problem with Algeth'ar Academy. Everyone goes to tree boss first. If you fail tree boss on any mythic key, either people go clear more trash away for lust to kill tree boss again, or they leave. Now, here's the problem, and we discussed this earlier this week with the tree boss, all right? With the tree boss, people leave so quickly that players that are doing higher keys for the first time in Algeth'ar Academy don't actually get to see the other bosses. They've only seen it on Mythic 0 and Normal and Heroic. They don't realize that the tree boss is actually pretty simplistic boss if you pay attention. The other bosses are almost just as bad. Like, the Arcane boss fucks people up hard, right? The bird boss, people standing in red and tornadoes, wipes all the time. So yeah, I actually think the tree boss is a pretty simple fight. Obviously hard for other people to comprehend, but I'm still keeping Algeth'ar at C. And Azure Vaults, I don't know, man. I hate the layout of Azure Vaults. I don't know about you guys. Plus, I think I would say most bosses in Azure Vault probably need a nerf on Tyrannical Week, minus the first one. Yeah, second one is terrible. You know what? As a matter of fact, I'm moving Azure Vaults to who tested this. Yeah, I don't think Azure Vaults deserves to be on C. Yeah, last boss, and then has anyone done Tyrannical third boss, the one that does the the one that mimics the boss from Oculus in Burning Crusade, or in Wrath of the Lich King rather, the ice under your feet boss? Yeah. Do a 14 or a 13 Azure Vaults and stand in that ice for longer than just 1.1 seconds. You're dead. You're fucking dead. Everyone in the group is literally at like 10% health. It's busted. That's a busted encounter. All right, yeah, move out of bad. But even if you try to move out of bad, you're still taking one tick, which takes you down to 50% health. And then, I mean, obviously, Ruby Life Pools, dead last. Ruby Life Pools. I mean, if there was a D for do not do this fucking dungeon, I would put Ruby Life Pools there. Just the first hallway is garbage. You end up pulling like 19 more mobs than you want to. No one can actually play their class and stay fucking ranged, because if you do, you pull something. You breathe in that first hallway, you pull something. You fart. You know? You sneeze fart anywhere in that first hallway. You pull something. And then there's the whelps. And then the first boss seems like a easy boss to do on Fortified. Have you done the first boss on Tyrannical? Bro, she fucks hard. Those frigid shards that she puts on the tank on Tyrannical, that is like chonking you for like 30% of your health. It is fucked up. Yeah. Second boss, I don't think the second boss is that big of a problem. The biggest problem with the second boss of Ruby Life Pools is tanks just not moving the boss and using the entirety of the circle to your advantage. Some tanks, for some reason, like to keep the second boss closer to the previous fire patch, which is stupid. And then it causes everybody else to spiral out of control and stand in fire and then die. And then there's the trash. Obviously, the trash is still overpowered on the second floor. Even the first floor, some of the ice bolting trash is really bad. And then all the trash leading up to the third boss is even worse. all the thunderstorm channeling. It feels like you need mythic rating quality like raid CDs to survive some of the AoE from the ads leading up to the third boss. And then after all the nerfs and buffs and nerfs and blah, blah, blah that we've done in dungeons, right? After all the beta testing, somehow the last boss of Ruby Life Pools is now one of the easiest bosses to kill in all of the Mythic Plus dungeons this season. Ain't that a bitch? All of a sudden, that's the easiest one to do. But yeah, I mean, wait till next season, man. Next season's going to be just as bad. Brackenhide Hollow, Halls of Infusion. You think it's bad now. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, like I said, I think that might be Blizzard's, how do we say, Blizzard's MO. This expansion. I think they want you to do the last 4 dungeons. Oh, they want you to do the old dungeons as a way to get more levels to do the later dungeons. The servers are up. Let's roll. That was our dungeon tier list and what I would nerf or buff in these stupid little dungeons. Pretty good. I think it's pretty good. Like I said, Temple. I want Temple to be here, but there is no middle ground.